Hello, good evening, and welcome to Pulse of the Week, the Wednesday edition here with your man Kofi Asante Mensah. Today is the 19th day of November 2025, and we're streaming live from our studios here at Amahia here in Accra, the Republic of Ghana. Welcome to the program. This is Pulse of the Week, Wednesday edition. This is the program that breaks down major stories from here, the Republic of Ghana, to wherever you are watching us from. We are grateful you are here. We are streaming live on our YouTube, and our YouTube channel's name is NSG News TV. Please join us and share some comments, and we'll be so happy to read it to the rest of the world. Our website is www.nsgnews.com. When I return, I have the major stories for you, from the Ken Ofori-Atta case with Interpol and OSP to the ECOWAS court ruling against former Chief Justice Gertrude Arobesaba Tokono, and that judgment came today. And also the Christian Council paying a courtesy visit to the office of the president, the Jubilee House. And then we talk about the CD, because there was a CD conference here in the capital. And we would also look at the swearing in of the new Chief Justice, Justice Paul Bafo Boni. We'll take a good look at some few stories making major headlines in our country. Why has the Super Eagles failed to qualify for the World Cup? I have some highlights for you. You'll be happy to have them or to see them. Please stay with me. After this breather, we'll continue. Hello and welcome back. A pleasure to have you. My name is Kofi Asante Mensah, and this is NSG News, news with integrity. We're streaming live on our Facebook, our YouTube channel, I must say. That's NSG News TV. And we are live, coming to you wherever you're watching us from. We are happy you have joined us. We're here in Accra, Ghana, Amahia, Adenta, in the Republic of Ghana. We begin with our very first story, and has to do with Ken Ofori-Atta and the Interpol, and also the OSP story. And that we have the story right here for you, because Ken Ofori-Atta has called on the international police, or the Interpol, to remove his name from their notice. And this is the story I have for you this evening. Today is November 19th, 2025, and we'll begin with our news update. The Office of the Special Prosecutor, OSP, has stated that the details of embattled former Minister of Finance Ken Ofori-Atta, initially issued on Interpol's red notice, have been redacted from public view. According to the OSP, it explained that the reduction is due to a review by the Commission for the Control of Interpol's Files to determine whether Ken Ofori-Atta's details should be removed following his application to have his name taken off Interpol's red notice. The OSP also disclosed that Ghanaian authorities submitted their response to Ofori-Atta's application on October 22, 2025, when he initially filed. And I quote from the statement by the OSP, quote, "In October 2025, the Commission for the Control of Interpol's Files notified Ghanaian authorities that accused Kenneth Nanaya Ofori-Atta had applied for the removal of his name from the Interpol's red notice. The Commission requested Ghana's response to Mr. Ofori-Atta's application. Ghana's response was duly submitted on 22nd October 2025. Portions of the OSP statement read. The OSP statement further indicated that it has taken notice of additional arguments filed by Ken Ofori-Atta, to which Ghanaian authorities are expected to respond by November 21st, 2025. Let's do some more story, because within this week, the same gentleman I'm talking about was officially charged by the OSP. And this is the story about 7 other personalities, in addition to Ken Ofori-Atta, have been charged with some 78 or so counts of corruption-related cases. And this is the story. The Office of the Special Prosecutor, OSP, yesterday, I must say, November 18, 2025, formally charged former Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta and 7 others with 78 counts of corruption and corruption-related offenses. The charges included conspiracy to directly or indirectly influence the prosecution, the procurement process to obtain an unfair advantage in the award of a contract, among other violations. According to the OSP, the charges filed on Thursday, November 18th, 2025, constitute violations of Section 23, Clause 1 of the Criminal Offences Act 29 of the 1960 Act 29, and section of 90 clause, I must say section 92 clause 2B of the Public Procurement Act 2003. That's Act 663, and I'll take that one again. According to the office, the charges filed on Thursday, November 18, 2025, constitute violations of sections of the Act, that is Act 20, Section 23, Clause 1 of the Criminal Offences Act 1960, Act 29, and Section 92, Clause 2B of the Public Procurement Act 2003, Act 663. Portions of the suit filed at the Criminal Division of the High Court in Accra under case number CR/0106/2026 and shared by the Special Prosecutor read conspiracy to commit the criminal offenses of directly and or indirectly influencing the procurement process to obtain an unfair advantage in the award of a procurement contract, contrary to the Section 23, Clause 1 of the Criminal Offences Act 1960, Act 29, and Section 92, 2B of the Public Procurement Act, that is Act 663. And that is the story. Let's still stay with the Office of the Special Prosecutor, because Mr. Martin Kpebu, he's a private legal practitioner. He has received an invitation by the OSP to come. Actually, he went today, and he went to argue his case out, or assist the Office of the Special Prosecutor to investigate the claims he made on a sister station, TV3, and this is the story. The Office of the Special Prosecutor, OSP, has reportedly invited private legal practitioner Martin Kpebu and Accra-based media house TV3 for questioning over comments made by the lawyer. According to a post shared by investigative journalist Manasseh Azuri Awuni on November 18, 2025, the sermons relates to remarks in which Martin Kpebu alleged that the Special Prosecutor Kisi Ejabin colluded to ensure that former Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta left Ghana for the United States despite an ongoing investigation into financial irregularities during his tenure under the Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo government. Let's leave the Office of the Special Prosecutor and move on to some more court-related issues, because today the ECOWAS court came up with some judgments, and it has to do with Madame Gertrude Tokonu's application to that very court. The Court of the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, has dismissed an application filed by former Chief Justice Gertrude Araba Saki Tokonu, who sought interim measures following her removal from office. The former Chief Justice's application requested the suspension of the ongoing removal process and her reinstatement with full entitlement while her human rights case proceeds. According to updates from the Deputy Attorney General and Minister of Justice, Dr. Justice Srim Sai, the ECOWAS Court of Justice ruled on Wednesday, today, November 19, 2025, that Tokono's application for interim measures, quote, did not satisfy the criteria for a grant of interim measures. And that is the story we have for you. And there have been quite a number of responses from the Ken Ofori-Atta case to this very one. the lead counsel for Ken Ofori-Atta, Mr. Frank Davis, has been responding so vigorously. And I know Martin Kpebu has also been on air, responding to his invitation, etc. I'm going for a quick breather. When I return, I'll take you to the presidency, and I have more stories from the presidency for you. Please stay with me. Hi there. What number is this? 3, right? All right. It's time for NSG News. Welcome. My name is Kofi Asante Mensah. And here at NSG News, you'll get serious documentary to watch, news, reviews, views, and what have you. Because we have Pulse of the Week and also exclusive on the hot seat. On NSG News, we say news with integrity. Hello there and welcome. It's a pleasure to have you back. Let's continue with some more stories. Now I will take you to the Jubilee House where the president has been talking and been meeting the Christian Council, and so many stories have been coming from that very quarters. And President John Dramani Mahama has made a bold declaration stating his commitment to steering Ghana's development to an advanced, irreversible stage, a level that no future administration, regardless of political persuasion, can dismantle. Speaking at the Jubilee House during a courtesy call from the Christian Council of Ghana on Thursday, November 18, 2025, the president framed his current mandate not just a term of office, but as a critical window to structurally embed progress. The president directly addressed the potential for policy discontinuity, a common challenge in Ghana's political cycle, by stressing the need for fundamental, enduring reforms. He also spoke about the LGBTQI+ bill, spoke about corruption, and also addressed issues that has to do with the National Cathedral.
So it was not submitted, and the president did not assent. And by the Constitution, any bill that is not assented to by the president before the expiration of the life of Parliament expires. And so it means that the bill has to be relayed in the House. The Speaker has given notice that he will allow it to be relayed. But if you want the position of my government, marriage is between man and woman. A person's gender is determined at birth. And then also that the family is the foundation of our nation. That is our position. And so there are no questions or equivocations about what we believe. I believe that we are completely aligned with the Christian Council in terms of your belief. And so we agree with the Speaker to relay the bill and let Parliament, debate it. And if there are any amendments or whatever, no questions or equivocations about what we believe. I believe that we are completely aligned with the Christian Council in terms of your belief. And so we agree with the Speaker to relay the bill and let Parliament, debate it. And if there are any amendments or whatever that have to be done, if the Parliament of the people of Ghana endorse the bill and vote on it and pass it, and it comes to me as president, I will sign it. Then we must show that the political elite is capable of governing accountably. Because by the time we went to the 2024 elections, most of our young people and our people were like, oh, even elections, it's a waste of time. You go and vote and people will just come and misuse our money. If we don't let our people believe that we can govern this country and govern it accountably and hold people to ransom who have misused government resources, then we can go the way other countries have gone. And that's why I said before the election, and I was misinterpreted, I said Ghana is not immune from coup d'etats. If the political class does not get its act together, it is possible that there could be a military coup or a civilian uprising. And civilian uprisings are worse than military coups because they end up in chaos and anarchy. If you look at what happened in Sri Lanka or somewhere, when the people had had enough, they overran the government, the prime minister ran away. They entered the prime minister's house, they were swimming in his swimming pool and opened his fridge and were drinking his drinks and eating his food. That is worse than a coup d'etat. And so for me, I said that my mission is to use the mandate Ghanaians have given me to move Ghana to a level where anybody who comes after cannot reverse the gains that we have done. And then people come to me and say, oh, but oral is too slow, the investigations and prosecutions are too slow and all that. But the point is, we have military and revolutionary days. A person, even whatever they say the person has done, the person must have his day in court. And the judge must look at the evidence and decide whether he's guilty or not guilty. Society can condemn the person as guilty, but when you present the facts in court, the judge might have a different opinion. And so, even though, I'm sure most Ghanaians would want us to have one big courts, this thing, put them in, and then in 1 week we dispatch your case and then straight to Nsawam and just keep dispatching them. We have a constitution and we must follow the process. And you don't just get up and take the person to court because you believe he's committed a crime. You must gather the evidence. Because however guilty you think a person is, if you don't gather the evidence and you just rush a case to court, the judge will throw it out. And so they say all this oral thing and this, that. The investigative organizations are working as and when they have sufficient evidence, then they take the case to court. And so we're not going to rush those cases if we don't have evidence because the public is baying for blood. We're going to go through, gather the evidence, prepare the dockets properly.
All right, so welcome back, and I have more stories for you because yesterday was quite a busy day for President John Dramani Mahama, and before he would go into session with the Christian Council that you just watched, he was in session with the Bank of Ghana that had a CD conference here in Accra at the Accra International Conference Center. And this is what President Mahama has been saying. President John Dramani Mahama has pledged to safeguard the independence of the Bank of Ghana, stressing that a credible and autonomous central bank remains essential to Ghana's long-term economic stability. Addressing policymakers, economists, and financial sector leaders at the CD at 60 International Currency Conference in Accra, the president praised the Bank of Ghana for what he describes as remarkable progress in stabilizing the local currency. He also stated that we have to educate Ghanaians on the use of the Ghana cedi.
I therefore urge the Bank of Ghana to strengthen nationwide public education in 3 critical areas. The first is promoting the use of the cedi in all domestic transactions. Using the national currency strengthens economic stability and reduces unnecessary exposure to exchange rate volatility. The second is improving currency handling practices. Poor handling practices increase printing costs, shorten the life of the currency notes in circulation, and undermine currency integrity. We must promote respect, proper storage, and responsible use of the Ghanaian cedi. And the third is enhancing financial literacy. An informed citizenry is better able to prevent fraud, demand accountability, and bolster the financial ecosystem. So public education must extend to schools, to the markets, to transport unions, to digital platforms, and especially to rural communities. Now one will ask, why does the cedi at 60 milestone matter? The 60th anniversary of the cedi is of deep national and policy relevance. It is a moment to assess the evolution of our monetary framework and draw lessons for future reforms. A currency is ultimately a social contract built on confidence, credibility, and transparency. and this conference will inform the next generation of reforms, ensuring that the cedi remains robust, secure, and relevant. And I'm confident that this conference will contribute meaningfully to promoting peer learning among central banks, driving innovation in currency design, security, and management, enhancing cross-border payment interoperability, strengthening regulatory frameworks for fintech and digital currencies, positioning Ghana as a regional financial and fintech hub, ensuring and shaping Africa's role in the evolving global. Now, one will ask, why does the
President John Dramani
CDS...
Mahama over there? I have more stories here for you, because President John Dramani Mahama has been praising the management of the Ghanaian cedi, the Bank of Ghana, and indicating that the cedi has gained respect, and it has gained respect locally and internationally.
And asked for an invoice from one of the car dealers. And when the invoice came, showed it to me. And I was surprised to note that the invoice was quoted in cedis, no dollars. A few years ago, if you were going to buy a car, the invoice they'll give you is quoted in dollars. Today, people are quoting in cedis, even house rents. You want to pay in dollars, it says, no, you pay me cedis. I just want to say that the governor and all your people, your team at the Bank of Ghana, the Ministry of Finance, Bank of Ghana, the Ministry of Finance, Ghanaians are grateful to you for the management of our currency. I think that a lot of respect has returned to our currency, and it's my hope that you keep whatever you're doing to make sure that we don't have excess liquidity, all those words you people have, open market operations, whatever those your technical jargons are, whatever you're doing, continue doing so that the cedi is
Dramani Mahama over there. And we go to the governor of the Bank of Ghana. He is saying it is the responsibility of all of us, all Ghanaians, to be able to protect the gains of the cedi. He also spoke at the conference.
Across the world, the landscape of money is indeed shifting. Digital payments continue to reshape behavior and expand access. Jurisdictions are advancing their thinking on CBDCs as well as tokenized instruments and raising new considerations. Across the world, the landscape of money is indeed shifting. Digital payments continue to reshape behavior and expand access. Jurisdictions are advancing their thinking on CBDCs as well as tokenized instruments and raising new considerations around trust, interoperability, and privacy. Advances in artificial intelligence are redefining authentication, security, and lifecycle management. At the same time, global uncertainty, geopolitical realignments, and technology dependence all create new vulnerabilities for economies like ours. These shifts are already shaping how Ghanaians earn, save, trade, and secure their futures. They call for steady leadership, clarity in strategy, and stronger coordination across institutions. The shifts also require a thoughtful approach to how the physical and digital dimensions of money will evolve together. As they say, cash continues to play an essential role in inclusion and resilience, while digital channels are expanding convenience and reach. Our work on payments, modernization, and the ECD reflects our commitment to secure and interoperable forms of value grounded in Ghana's realities and informed by global lessons. This must be reinforced by strong economic stewardship and institutional stability.
All right, so welcome back. Let's do some more stories and enter into the world of swearing in of the Chief Justice, because President John Dramani Mahama has officially sworn in Paul Bafo-Boni as the new Chief Justice of the Republic of Ghana. The ceremony held at the Jubilee House in Accra on Monday, November 17, 2025, follows Parliament's approval of his nomination earlier this month. Listen to what President John Dramani Mahama said.
This ceremony is more than just a symbolic change of guards. It marks a significant milestone, and it reaffirms our collective dedication to constitutionalism, the rule of law, and the independence of the judiciary as an equal branch of government. And so on behalf of the government and people of Ghana, I wish to extend warm congratulations to you, Justice Paul Bafo-Boni, on your appointment and assumption of this distinguished office. The constitutional role of the Chief Justice, that is the office that you assume today, is among the most important under our Constitution. The Chief Justice is not only the head of the judiciary, but he is also the symbol and guarantor of justice for our people. You preside over the Supreme Court, you chair the Judicial Council, and bear the responsibility for administering justice across our country. You will oversee the work of judges and magistrates nationwide, from our busiest urban courts to the most remote districts of our country. Our Constitution enshrines the principle that the courts, as outlined in Article 125, shall administer justice in the name of the Republic of Ghana, guided by the principles of freedom, equality, probity, and accountability. And so as Chief Justice, you are the first guardian of these principles within the judicial arm. Judicial independence and separation of powers. The strength of our democracy depends on a delicate yet essential balance of powers among the executive, the legislature, and the judiciary. Each branch is supposed to operate independently, and yet they have to collaborate in order to serve the common good. And so today, as President, I pledge my unwavering commitment to the independence of the judiciary. And I wish to say that an independent judiciary is not a favor to the courts. It is a constitutional necessity and a protection for every citizen, including the President. And then after that, we'll have the judicial oath, and then finally the oath of secrecy. So the oath of allegiance, and you say after me, I,
Paul Bafo-Boni,
do in the name of the Almighty God swear,
do in the name of the Almighty God swear,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the Republic of Ghana as by law established,
to the Republic of Ghana as by law established,
that I will uphold the sovereignty and integrity of Ghana,
that I will uphold the sovereignty and integrity of Ghana,
and that I will preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the Republic of Ghana.
And defend the Constitution of the Republic of Ghana.
So help me God.
So help me God.
We'll have the judicial oath. Police officer, you can sit down. You're not part of the swearing in. Don't be mistaken as the new Chief Justice. We go again. I,
Paul Bafo-Boni,
having been appointed
as
Chief Justice,
do
in the name of the Almighty God swear,
do in the name of the Almighty God swear,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the Republic of Ghana as by law established,
to the Republic of Ghana as by law established,
and that I will uphold the sovereignty and integrity of the Republic of Ghana,
that I will uphold the sovereignty and integrity of the Republic of Ghana,
and that I will truly and faithfully perform the functions of my office
and that I will truly and faithfully perform the functions of my office
without fear or favor, affection or ill will, and that I will at all times uphold, preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution and laws of the Republic of Ghana.
So help me God.
will take the final oath.
All right, so that's the oath-taking ceremony over there by the president is leading the Chief Justice. You know, the president is actually sworn in by the Chief Justice, and even the Speaker of Parliament sworn in by the Chief Justice. And when a situation happens like this, the president swears in the Chief Justice. Chief Justice Gertrude Torkornoo sworn in President John Dramani Mahama on January 7th, 2025. Now she is no more, and she is former now. So we have new Chief Justice being sworn in by the President of the Republic, who was sworn in by the Chief Justice, the former Chief Justice. Quite interesting. But let's talk more. The newly sworn in Chief Justice of Ghana, Justice Paul Bafo-Boni, has vowed to uphold the rule of law and respect the separation of powers in his new role. This is what he said when he was sworn in, his few remarks at his swearing in.
Excellency, the President of the Republic of Ghana, John Dramani Mahama, Your Excellency, the Vice President, Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman, the Honorable First Deputy Speaker, the Chief of Staff and other presidential staff is present, the Chairman and members of the Council of State present, the Honorable Attorney General and other ministers, my Lord Justices of the Superior Courts of Judicature, Your Honors and Your Worships, other honorable members of Parliament here present, members of the Judicial Council.
All right, so that's the man from Goso. He's proud of where he's coming from, and he has been able to become the Chief Justice of this Republic, and his name is Justice Paul Bafo-Boni. On this note, I'll go for a quick breather. When I return, there's more here on NSG News. My name is Kofi Asante-Mensah. Please stay with me.
Oh, no beginning. Get used to it. I have stepped into my new beginning. Yesterday is gone. Yesterday of darkness is gone. A whole new beginning. Yeah, 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 yeah. Get used to it. I've stepped into my new level. See me watching me fly on eagle's wing. A whole new beginning.
If you look at the last election,
Yeah.
some were in complete shock.
Of the results.
Yes. While we were telling them 6 months before that
Yes.
there's
So you are a traitor or what? I don't know.
the last person who will be a traitor in this country will be me. I'm very patriotic.
It is alleged that NDC is sponsoring you to do their dirty work. Let me put it that way. That's my word, dirty work, to discredit the advances of the MPP. You've been drawn into partisan politics. How do you come out of this one?
One, I have not been contracted, required to do anything for NDC against any entity in this country. Absolutely not. I don't belong to the NDC. I don't belong to the MPP. I don't have political party affiliation with any other party. No. Now look, where we are in Hacho now. I remember when I was going to write the O-levels, I didn't have money to pay for the fees. So I had to carry labor, do by day labor. Here. We're one of those who started building houses in this area as a laborer. You have to even go and carry the cement from afar because there were no buildings to store them in. This would be the shock. We were branded as mad people. But the numbers we were banding around was in excess of a 2.something million gap. We have to realize that the country, Ghana, has changed profoundly, even from 2016 levels.
I think it wasn't Ghana government funded.
No, it wasn't Ghana government funded. No, on your own you struggle. and then you go to Denmark. I remember when I arrived in Frankfurt on my way to Denmark, I had only $500 in my pocket. And that was to pay for your accommodation, pay for your feeding, pay for everything.
Right, so welcome back. This is Pulse of the Week, the midweek edition, 19th day of November 2025, with your man, Kofi Asante Mensah. And this is Energy News, news with integrity. Welcome back. Let's do some more stories. We are stepping into Parliament because this week the Attorney General has been there defending so many stuffs. All right, let's take the story now. Attorney General and Minister of Justice, Dr. Dominic Ayine, has defended the Economic and Organized Crime Officer's decision to impose high bail conditions in major corruption and financial crime cases, especially those involving appointees of the previous government. Dr. Ayine was responding to questions from Habib Idrisu, Member of Parliament for Tolon and First Deputy Speaker, First Deputy Minority Whip, who sought clarification on the recent bail terms set by EOCO and whether alternative arrangement could be considered. This is what the Attorney General said in Parliament.
Mr. Speaker, there is nothing unjust or unfair with respect to what is happening. I am standing on firm ground in saying this because the sums of money and the criminal enterprise that are the subject matter of the bail conditions that are being imposed have never before been seen in this. Mr. Speaker, there is nothing unjust or unfair with respect to what is happening. I am standing on firm ground in saying this because the sums of money and the criminal enterprise that are the subject matter of the bail conditions that are being imposed have never before been seen in this. Mr. Speaker, there is nothing unjust or unfair with respect to what is happening. All
right, so let's still remain in Parliament because the Speaker of Parliament, Alban Bagbin, has shared details about his tenure as minority leader, insisting that his conduct was marked different from that of the current minority leader. According to him, his leadership style was exemplary and did not resemble the approach of the current caucus leader. Bagbin refuted suggestions that he behaved similarly in his past, stressing that he never raised the voice or his voice on the floor of Parliament to make his point.
What the minority leader is doing now is not what I did. He has copiously referred to you people that he took inspiration from my record. Please go and read my record. I never on the floor raised my voice. I never on the floor tried to show grandeur. No. I studied the ecology, the political environment. I tested the pulse of the people, and you play along that. I didn't do what you are doing. Please, anybody can go and read. Only one occasion when the Right Honorable Peter Lajeti came and read a statement attacking me personally, that I rose up to say my side of the story, and he will not allow me to do so. My very good friend Papa Nkrumah, who was the majority leader then, stood up and said, once he mentioned me specifically, by our standing orders, I have the right of reply. And he shouted at him and prevented him and ordered him to sit down. And that day, I took my books and stormed to my office. My colleagues did not follow me. They continued with the work of Parliament. It was in my office that the then few cameras, led by GTV, questioned why I moved out.
So, Avenue Makin, please listen. Don't misbehave again. And be quoting that you are copying from Speaker Bagben. No. He said he didn't do what you are doing. He never raised his voice. Please, you can have your voice lowered and talk soft and still make your point. Don't be shouting. All right, let's do some more stories, because government says it will soon lay a National Defense University bill before Parliament to create a specialized university for Ghana Security Services. The Education Minister Haruna Idrisu made the announcement at the launch of Speaker Bagben scholarship scheme for legislators and staff of the parliamentary service.
Where in the world Speaker Bagben will qualify for a governance chair of any institution of higher learning, whether it's Yale or it's Princeton or it's Oxford or it's Cromwell, everywhere in the world, given his standing and given the enormous experience he has acquired over the period. So, Professor Atuahine, on my way here, Mr. Speaker, forgive me that I'm talking for long. I have to subject you to whether you have met our regulatory requirement to function as a university. And Mr. Speaker, I'm happy to announce that he has passed. The Ghana Tertiary Education Commission related to me that they were satisfied with what you are doing and that you have a lawful, legitimate accreditation. And for some other academic courses, you have to come back to them for accreditation, which we'll be happy to grant you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, it's not just you. I'm sure sooner than later I'll come to Parliament to introduce the National Defense University. It's President Mohammed's decision that the Ghana Armed Forces and all its allied institutions be upgraded into a university of the National Defense University, NDU, will come to Parliament to introduce a bill on that. So to Professor Atuahine, I should commend Speaker Bagben, and I believe that many of our academic institutions in Ghana are listening. You can establish a chair in governance. Then once in a while, you can invite the like of Mr. Speaker, former speakers, former experienced members of Parliament to share their views on governance and the administration of the country generally, to understand what Parliament does and what Parliament would not do.
Former President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo has paid a glowing tribute to the late Vice President Alhaji Aliyu Mahama, describing him as generous, hospitable, and a man of integrity who served as a strong pillar for both the New Patriotic Party and the nation. Sharing fond memories, he recollected how the former vice president's home often became a haven for relaxation after long and intense political campaigns. Speaking at the 13th commemorative Adus held in honor of the late Aliyu Mahama, former President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo described his passing on November 16, 2012, at the age of 66, as painfully saddened.
For those of us who worked with the late Aliyu Mahama, like many of the leaders of the NPP in the 1990s, I got to know him when we went to Tamale to continue the building of our party. His house was where we would all go and socialize and eat. And he was a most generous and hospitable host. And from that time until we met in government and afterwards, we maintained close friendship. This was a very honorable, respectable man, a man of great integrity, who worked very hard for our country. His death continues to be a matter of profound sadness for me. He went far too early. But that is the way of God. He will call us when He is ready, not when we are ready. I'm grateful to the family for remembering me and inviting me to be part of this ceremony. I want to wish them, Farouk, his brothers, his sister, whom I call Photocopy.
13th memorial anniversary of the late former Vice President Alhaji Aliu Mahama held in Accra on Sunday, November 15th, 2025. Dr. Alhaji Mahmudu Bawumia hailed and revered statesman as a national unifier whose legacy continues to guard Ghana's political and social journey, and asked Ghanaians to emulate.
November 16th, 2012. I remember it as if it was just a few minutes ago. He is someone I knew as a child growing up in Tamale. He used to visit my late father quite often when he was in the university. I think he was tech, studying, I think in construction or something, engineering. He came home often. And then later on, he was the managing director of State Construction Corporation in Tamale. And I used to look forward to his visits to our home, where he would come and pay courtesy calls on my father. The reason I looked forward to it was that he would not leave without giving us some money. And so anytime he came, I would waylay him on the way to his car. And I knew he couldn't avoid seeing me and he would make sure he gave me something before he left. So I was always looking forward to seeing him. Fast forward, he was a big supporter of mine when my boss, His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, nominated me to be his running mate. And then he spoke very supportively of me in the National Council to get my nomination through in the National Council. And after that, he basically became someone who was guiding me through my political journey. I must also say that he was the guest of honor for my wedding to Samira in 2004. That was very, very, very special for me.
All right, let's talk about firearms and the Interior Minister, because the Ministry of the Interior has issued a 6-week ultimatum to individuals in possession of unregistered firearms, directing them to voluntarily surrender their weapons or face severe sanctions. The nationwide exercise, which forms part of a broader crackdown on gun violence, will run from December 1, 2025 to January 15, 2026. It aims to curb the proliferation of illicit arms and address rising gun-related incidents across the country. The initiative offers a safe window for citizens to hand over unregistered or illegally held firearms without fear of prosecution.
To ensure lasting impact, the following measures will accompany the gun amnesty. A 6-week amnesty window for voluntary surrender of the illicit arms, which is from the 1st of December to the 15th of January. Suspension of issuing new firearms permits for importation and sales during this amnesty. So those who want to venture into the business and want to have new licenses, they will have to wait until after this period. Temporary ban on the use of firearms in traditional celebration. And this is something that is so important to us. We've engaged all our regional ministers and we've tasked our regional ministers to get all our regional House of Chiefs and our opinion leaders and chiefs to know, whilst this amnesty lasts, it doesn't really matter whether what you have is licensed or not. We just want to silence the gun in this 6 weeks. So during funeral, during festivals, all the celebration, we just don't want to see any gun there. And we are putting in very vigorous measures. And we don't want to have any confrontation with any traditional authority. Please, bear with us and let us be able to streamline these illicit arms that are in our hands. Many of us will attest to the fact. We all know that it is this gunpowder that were usually used at celebration. Today, at these celebrations, you see pump action, you see pistols. In some instances, we even see AK-47 and G3s being bundled at funerals.
All right, so the Ghana Armed Forces, GAF, has warned that it will arrest non-applicants who show up at recruitment centers when the exercise resumes in the Greater Accra region on Thursday, November 20. That's tomorrow. The caution comes ahead of the reopening of the recruitment process, which was suspended after a stampede last week, Wednesday, November 12, which resulted in the demise or the death of some 6 potential recruits. Director General of Public Affairs at the GAF, Captain Veronica Adjo Ahen, said in an interview with NSG News. Please watch.
If you are a non-member, we will appeal to the general public not to try coming there because we will not allow you. If it becomes necessary and we'll have to arrest you and hand over to the police, we will do so. Please, we requested the public that they should not accompany the applicant. So we have also beefed up our numbers. We'll have the military police in position to ensure that only applicants will be allowed in. And even if you're an applicant and you come at the wrong time, I'm sure it could even lead to your disqualification. So we are also doing something similar.
Hi, welcome back. And that is the Director General for Public Affairs at the Ghana Armed Forces. Please stay with me, going for a quick breather. When I return, there's more. We talk about health, we talk about entertainment, and we talk about sports. Please stay.
A whole new beginning. Get used to it. I have stepped into my new beginning. Yesterday is gone. Yesterday of darkness is gone. A whole new beginning. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Get used to it. I've stepped into my new level. See me watching me fly on eagle's wing. A whole new beginning. A new beginning.
Hi, welcome back. My name is Kofi Asante-Mensah. This is NSG News Update. Let's do some little health over here because Health Minister Kwabena Mintah Akando has announced a new deployment strategy that will see the majority of newly qualified doctors sent to rural and underserved parts of the country. Out of the 700 junior medical doctors currently being processed for posting, the minister revealed that about at least 80% will be sent to district health facilities as part of government efforts to bridge the urban-rural gap in healthcare delivery.
The Minister of Health, Kwabena Mintah Akando, visited the Cape Coast Teaching Hospital to observe its operations, interact with staff and management, and assess ongoing but unfinished projects. The visit comes after government announced plans to strengthen Ghana's health information management system through the introduction of a state-owned national health records software. Addressing the hospital's leadership, the minister outlined a series of new reforms being introduced in the health sector, including the posting of 80% of new doctors to Ghana's districts in a move he says will bring significant benefits to the state.
So let us endeavor to handle our patients with care. Government will also continue to do its part of the bargain to make sure that we create the required atmosphere or environment to make sure you also carry your work smoothly. Our doors are always opened to varied opinions and criticisms. I only implore all of us to do our criticism constructively and with mutual respect.
He also acknowledged that while some of the reforms may be unpopular, they are essential to improving the quality of healthcare delivery in the country.
I must assure you that there is massive reforms in the health sector.
massive one, and we are not going to relent on it. Some of them will come as a discomfort to you, but I think that in the long run, it will be beneficial to the state. One of such decisions is to post not less than 80% of our new doctors to the districts. And
all right, the National Anti-Illegal Mining Operations Secretariat, shortly called NIMOS Task Force, has launched an audacious dawn operation to flush out galamseyers from a notorious illegal mining site nicknamed Yellow Phase at Wassa, Abreshia in the western region. The unexpected presence of the NIMOS Task Force deterred inhabitants of the area, with the galamseyers fleeing to escape arrest.
Fire! Fire no! Fire no!
Police, give way.
Fire!
All right. Dafom, Bonitio. Hey, NIMOS, please take heart. Hey, that's quite crucial. That's quite crucial. All right, let's do some more stories, quite on a sad note, because the family of the late former First Lady Nana Konadu Agyeman-Rawlings has formally announced that her final funeral rites will be held on Friday, 28th November at the Independence Square here in Accra. In a statement delivered on behalf of the family, Oheneba Akwesi Abeye Otumfo Akomfra Hene confirmed that the funeral proceedings will commence at 6 a.m. with the arrival of the cortege at the ceremonial grounds. And this is what he said when he organized a press conference to address the Republic.
Funeral activities will commence at 7 a.m. The arrival of the cortege at the Independence Square, Accra. Independence Square. The official attire that the family is wearing, the black, and there will be no official clothes. In the villa. It's not so rare. The funeral at Independence Square is open to the general public, and the public is hereby invited to participate fully. Security and protocol officials will direct all mourners to their seats. The funeral is served on Friday, 28th November. Will be the final funeral rites, and there will be no funeral ceremony after.
The presiding Archbishop and General Overseer of the United Denominations of the Action Chapel International, Archbishop Nicholas Duncan Williams, has highlighted that Impact is not just another Christian gathering, but one designed to leave a lasting impression on attendees. Speaking at the media launch of Impact 2025 on November 17, keynote speaker Archbishop Duncan Williams emphasized what makes the annual convention a must-attend event. He also stated that we should be able to live well and make an impactful life on others.
I've always said that we must all, always, as long as we live in our life, think about how we want to be remembered and judged by history. And it's something that I've always stayed with me. Always think about how you'll be remembered and how you'll be judged by history. Mobutu, who was one of the most richest presidents in Africa in his days, I'm told when he passed, he had about $4 billion in his Swiss account. I was just in the DRC a few days ago, meeting with the president and the first lady in Gabon, Rwanda, and other places. And the thing here is, people don't remember that he was a president, he had a lot of money. They remember the impact and the difference you made in the life of others.
Resident Bishop John Ahiati also shed light on the inspiration behind this year's theme.
So for us here in Action Chapel, year after year we've been organizing this, and this year, by the inspiration of the Lord, Papa declared that there shall be a performance, or let there be a performance. Let there be a performance is a declaration of the word of the Lord in the face of every opposition and every form of counter element that will try to hold you down. So it's a year of let there be a performance. Whatever need you have, whatever challenge you have, as you come here to Action Chapel during the time of impact, God will turn your life around. And the narrative.
So that's the impact story over there. We are leaving that quickly to do some little sports because 31 years ago, Nigeria burst onto the global stage in a golden summer at the 1994 World Cup in the United States, impressing with a do-or-die attitude that helped them top their group and come within 2 minutes of reaching the quarterfinals by beating Italy. But the Super Eagles will not be returning to North America soil for next summer's tournament, and they will, or they are, not blaming their shooting boots after a front and dramatic continental playoff final on Sunday, where Nigeria were eliminated by DR Congo on penalties. The Super Eagles manager Eric Chili said that his team had been defeated by some voodoo. Watch what he said.
Goalkeepers as usual, stay on your line, don't move forward before the kick is taken. And passes, sent it up, but he didn't score a goal through the whole. Penalty taker. And he's had it saved. And it's still empty itself onto this pitch as the penalty shootout starts. End. Left winger. And it's been saved as well. Incredible. Democratic Republic of Congo coach. Acutely. Because of... So then. After 3 penalties. But no longer. The first goal goes in. 1-0. Final with his 78th minute goal. Nigerians everywhere. And he does. And we are off and running in this penalty shootout. It's 1 apiece. The Democratic Republic of Congo, because they have won after 4 penalties. Here comes Tuanzebe! And we're level again. Time in this shootout. 3 penalties each. Looking to make himself a hero. Onyemaechi, next up. And he scores. And for the first time in this penalty shootout. Feast. So the pressure. Mayele, no, he's a shooting in. This is where the pressure reverts now to that stage where it... Chidera Ichuki ignores the bottle and slides it in, and it's 5 penalties taken. Wasn't put off at all there. That's how to deal with a penalty. That's how to deal with people trying to put you off. Brian Sapenga. No, it's not. It's Michel-Ange Baguisha. The substitute from Celtic scores. And it's 3-3 after perfection. Experienced defender. And it's been saved! It's down to this. The man who scored the semi-final winner against Cameroon. The man who almost scored a winner in this final. Steps up and scores! And the Democratic Republic of Congo.
So the voodoo did it. The voodoo. All right, thank you very much. And that's our broadcast for today. My name is Kofi Asante Mensah. A big thank you to our crew, Justice Kluche and Kofi Berry. Thank you very much. And to our executive producer, Mr. Aim Liquid, and also to Executive Secretary Zeba. And we'll meet again on Friday to do this all over again. God bless you. This has been Pulse of the Week on a Wednesday edition. Thank you.